Welcome to the Harley J Way. Yeah, the Harley J Way. My name is Harley J. I'm your host. Let's jump right in. Yay! Call to action. That is one simple creator tip. And for videos, when you have a video that you make, at the end of your video, add a call to action. This means that if you have a podcast or a social media Instagram piece of a reel or a TikTok video or a YouTube video, at the end maybe you could say, this doesn't always work for TikTok videos, but it definitely works for YouTube videos, and a lot of YouTubers are already doing this. At the end of your video, say make sure to like and subscribe. That's a call to action. It's telling the audience what to do. They followed you throughout this whole video. Now they're at the end. They want a reward, so you're telling them what to do. And it can kind of trick the brain into doing something because they like you. They like what you're doing. Or if it's a longer video, make it in the middle or put it in a random spot. Or if you have a pun you can add with it, like hey, this is you. Like hey. I don't know. If you have a pun you can add, and there's some type of pun you can make it, like some type of call to action to the call to action, if you know what I mean. Like you saying, this piece of tech is glorious, but you know what else would be glorious? If you subscribe. Like something like that. That's a really good thing that you can do, and it really helps get more subscribers, get more views, because honestly, there's one thing that I always talk about in doing content creation, and that is the triangle of growth. It's something that I think is really cool. And what it is it's the fact that, so if you get views on YouTube, then, so there's three spots. There's views, there's subscribers, and there's recommended videos. So if you have a lot of views, you can get your videos get recommended, and the more times your videos get recommended, the more people see them. So it's kind of that loop. And then the more views you have, the more subscribers you get, and the more subscribers you get, the more views you have, and the more recommended videos you have, the more subscribers you get, and the more subscribers you get, the more recommended videos you get. And then from recommended videos, I can go to views. So it's kind of every way you can possibly think about looping it, you can loop in that triangle. Hi, my name is Harley J. Welcome to the Harley J Way podcast. And yeah, like I already said before, and actually no, I don't think I said this today. Today we're going to be talking about some amazing creator tips for content creators. And right now you just heard our first creator tip. And of course, if you want to, now I've just talked about call to actions, now I'm going to give you a call to action. My call to action is actually just going to be, hey, if you like this podcast, maybe you can just do something very fun, and it's completely free. All you have to do is hit subscribe. You know what's free? Subscribing to this podcast. That's a weird thing I just said. I said subscribe, and then I said, you know what's free? Subscribe. I don't know. I'm not the best at the podcasting. I just try to make people smile. But yeah. So if you like this podcast, make sure to hit the subscribe button on whatever podcast whatever podcast listener or platform you are listening to this on. Now, of course, if you want to be in this podcast, you can DM me if you want to be interviewed, or you can easily, without having to DM me or get my permission, you can actually just go onto the podcast website, which is in the description. It's linked in the description. All you have to do is go to that website, hit add an audio message, and you can record an audio message, and then that audio message will be featured in this podcast. Isn't that cool? I hope it is. So now let's move on to our next tip. Now this tip is something that I think will really help people, and it is the merchandise tip. Now I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you merchandise part 1 and merchandise part 2. Merchandise part 1 is to have regular merchandise like a shirt or a beanie or something like that. And there's a lot of print-on-demand companies that what you can do is you set up your shop on them. So I think Shopify you can add print-on-demand to Shopify. So if you have a Shopify website, have your Shopify and then connect it to a print-on-demand person or company. And then what will happen is every time, instead you don't have to buy inventory, because if you buy inventory, that's a risk. Because now every time someone buys off your store, then a little message will be sent to the print-on-demand person or company. And then that person or company will make the product. So you won't have to have inventory. And then also, you don't ship it. They ship it. They do it all for you. That's what I like about print on demand. I don't do print on demand because I don't want to have to spend the money, because it does cost money, but it's not a risk. Now, regular merchandise is a risk. Because a lot of the time you have inventory. But if you know for sure that people are going to buy, like your Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, he knows for sure people are going to want to buy his merchandise, so he has inventory. And I think that's just amazing. Now, the next thing is a type of merchandise that I like to do. It's the only type of merchandise I have, and I advertise it in these podcasts and my YouTube channel. And my microphone just moved. What it is it's like books. You can have books and stuff like that, where it's really simple. I have a self-publishing service, and of course the link to my book is in the description. But this self-publishing service really is something incredible. It is really just literally, and I'm not joking with this, it's amazing. I can make profit off of it, and I can just do it easily. There's multiple ways I can do it. And I think it is really nice because I'm offering a service and I'm getting money back from it. And it's easier because it's also print on demand. And I can have unlimited people buy from me because almost unlimited, because there's not a lot of paper in the world, but there's a lot of paper in the world, but we don't want to have too many people buying books. But books are really fun to do. I like writing books. And yeah, so I would recommend writing a book about whatever your niche is. The niche is something incredible. Having a niche, you should have a niche. Niches are amazing. A niche is something good to have. You always want to have a niche. Don't just do random videos or random pieces of content. Have a niche. Next off that was merchandise part 1 and part 2. Now, next I want to give a tip about this is one tip that I think people will really benefit from. And this tip is going outside the boundaries. If you go outside the boundaries, it will work perfectly for you. I swear. If you go outside the boundaries, but you stay inside your niche. So, for me, one thing I've learned over my YouTube journey and my content creation journey, and this is, I think, the first tip I ever got. It was from my dad, because my dad is a film producer, and he said, first off, get your niche, grow your niche, and only focus on your niche. Once you have a loyal fan base, like 1,000 subscribers or 100 subscribers, whatever you feel comfortable with, that you know these people are not going to unsubscribe from you, and you're not going to lose them, then you could go a small bit outside your niche. So let's say, for me, my niche originally was vegan food. I'm a full-time vegan, and my original channel, when I was 7 or 8, was literally Harley J's Crazy Vegan Adventure. If you don't know, I'm Harley J. That's my name, which you probably already know. But it was really fun, and my plan was to build a loyal fan base. And once I had that fan base, then I could start doing vlogs, not about being vegan. But you still have to mention being vegan in it. Still use your niche in things that are not your niche. It's complicated, but if you do this, you can really get more people, more subscribers. Or you can do the other way of going outside the box, building outside the box, and that is growing 2 niches. For my YouTube channel, I have 2 niches. I have food and film. Now, for me, I have 2 niches, so I can grow outside these 2 niches. I have 2 fan bases that are pushed into one, and then over time, the people who like food that are subscribed to my channel, start to like film, because they watch both types of videos, and people who like film eventually start to like food. So I get the same amount of views on both types of videos, and then there's people who just want to watch videos, so they watch my stuff. And then one day I could just post 2 food videos and everyone will watch, or 2 film videos and everyone will watch. I can skip out of that schedule, but I still want to stay inside the schedule. Hope you enjoyed this video. Well, not video, this podcast. But I want to give you one last tip before we say bye. This tip is a tip that I will really recommend to anyone. And this tip is to subscribe to this podcast. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.